Hi everyone and welcome back to the Bodcast. This is episode 34. I'm here and Ian is also here.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
I don't know why I'm saying welcome. This is your podcast too. But anyway, what are we talking about today, Ian?
We are talking about religion and Lego's hypocrisy.
Get right to the crux of the matter, why don't
Yeah.
you? Okay. Why are you suggesting that Lego might be hypocritical in this?
So Lego very much say that they don't do religion. They avoid religion.
Yep.
And yet they celebrate the two most important Christian festivals, celebrations, events. You've got Christmas and you've got Easter.
Yep, they are definitely very Christian events.
Yeah.
But then, are they not becoming more of a thing in society, no matter what your religion? So, even people who aren't Christian celebrate Christmas. And
in Christian countries.
Yes, probably.
I don't know how much they celebrate Christmas in China or India or
I don't know either.
most of the Middle East. Even Turkey, I don't know how much.
What religion are they in Turkey?
It's Islamic.
And China, they're Buddhist?
Well, China, atheist, kind of.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't feel like I know enough about, because surely you get a mix of everyone in most places. But I guess, our country is Christian.
Yeah.
But we have a large proportion that aren't Christian.
Depends on your definition of large, but yeah.
Well, what's the split in our country?
I don't know. Do you want to look it up?
I feel like it'd be useful. Okay, so from a article in 2021, end of 2021, 51% of people are Christian in England and Wales, 5.7% are Muslim, 1.7% are Hindu, 0.7% are Sikh, 0.6% are Jewish, 0.4% are Buddhist, 1.5% cited another religion, while 38.4% cited no religion at all. So actually, those other religions are quite a small proportion in our country.
Yeah.
There's a big proportion of people who have no religion, but then Christian is quite clearly miles ahead of all the others.
Yeah.
That was interesting for me to see, because I didn't really know. I mean, I grew up in a completely different place to where I live now, and the representation seemed a lot more fair. So I just assumed that it's like that everywhere.
Yeah.
Quite multicultural, and there was a good representation of religions. So I just assumed all the people I knew, that was the proportion everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, the cities are a lot more multicultural.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously those statistics, 51% of people are Christian. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually
active Christians, yeah.
Yeah, whether they're churchgoers
and
stuff like that. That would be a smaller
I
percentage.
find it funny that the article this came from is Christians poised to become a minority when, they're 51%. Just how is that a minority?
Yeah, I mean, even if they drop down below 50%, they're still not a minority if they're the largest group. Still,
Yeah.
So. But anyway, that's fear-mongering from random press.
Yes. Yeah. I guess trying to encourage more Christians.
Yeah. So you could say that, Lego are focusing on the non-Christian parts of Christmas.
Yes. So
like they're
Christmas
focusing on St. Nicholas,
presents.
the patron saint of prostitutes.
Okay. What?
St. Nicholas, the patron saint of prostitutes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Patron saint of children, sailors, prostitutes, and a bunch of other things.
You're being wildly sensationalist by using that title.
Yes.
Yeah.
So focusing on a saint, obviously, rather than the other Christmas aspects of it.
Yeah, the non-religious part of the religious holiday.
The saint is the non-religious part of the religious holiday.
Father Christmas.
Yeah, okay. But, it's things like the whole idea that... So the one theory is that you give presents at Christmas because the wise men gave Jesus gifts when he was born.
Yeah.
We have all of the sets come with Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Now, the Christmas tree in itself, you can say, isn't religious. It dates back to other ceremonies. But all of them have a star on the top of, which is the Star of Bethlehem.
True, yeah.
That directly comes from the Nativity.
Yeah.
So to try and say, oh no, that we're ignoring the Christian elements of it, they've just seeped into it. And you get that because you say, oh, it comes from the culture, it comes from society, but it comes from a Christian culture and Christian society.
Yeah, it does.
If you did Christmas somewhere else, then you would have other aspects coming into it.
So why can't they make a Christmas set for every culture?
That's essentially what I think they should be doing. They should be looking at all of the religions.
But would they be called a Christmas set?
No.
No.
But you look at all the religions and you say, well, this is the major religious festival. This is the one that is the most... Because it's not necessarily the most religious, but the one that is most visually celebrated.
Yeah.
So, whether that's doing Diwali,
yeah.
having a celebration of lights kind
of
of
I think that would
stuff.
make quite a lovely set. I mean, if you look at the Lunar New Year stuff, which is all centred around lanterns and stuff,
yes,
they make beautiful sets. So something that is also celebrated around fireworks and light and things, that aspect of it would be the non-religious part, and therefore it would portray well in a set.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a Diwali set would be lovely.
Yeah.
Especially all the patterns and things. Like I don't know, they just do something. It is a visually attractive celebration, and full of food. Food.
Yeah, you've got Hanukkah, you've got Eid, you've got all these different things where there are definite visual celebrations going on that you could incorporate into a set.
Yeah.
You could then use that as a way of teaching people about cultures.
Yeah.
Because I find this whole we don't see religion is very similar to the whole argument of people who don't see colour.
Yeah.
Which was a massive thing when Black Lives Matter really started off with the protests. A lot of people saying I don't see colour, and so many things came out saying that's completely the wrong attitude to have.
Yeah, because you're essentially stripping someone of their identity by pretending that they are all the same.
Yeah.
And that's not really very fair on people.
And it also means that if you don't see colour, how do you teach about diversity?
Yeah.
We live in a county that has very, very low percentages of non-whites.
Yeah, people of colour.
Yeah. And so if you start saying, oh, well, we don't see colour, how do you then get people to understand that there are different colours out there? They don't see it locally because there's so few in the community. So saying I don't see religion basically means you're trying to dismiss the whole issue, and that's not being inclusive.
Yeah, you should be ensuring everyone knows about everyone else and is respectful of the differences and can understand that we are different and that's okay. Yeah. Like, we're still all human and we still all have that underlying same hierarchy of needs and things, and our general makeup is the same, but then there is so many things that make us individual but also bring us into communities. Yeah.
And you also get that there's a huge blurring of religion and culture.
Yeah.
So in Western Europe, if you assume that the major religion, Christianity, the clothing doesn't necessarily reflect that too much, because there aren't key things that, clothing-wise, that identify you as Christian. There are crosses and small things like that.
But clothes-wise,
you don't get that.
Yeah.
But in the Middle East, it's completely different, where, regardless of what your religion is, whether you're actually a practicing Muslim or not, you are likely to be wearing the same clothes as everyone else. You might not be going full burqa, but you might still have hijab and stuff like that. And so you're not wearing it because of your religion, you're wearing it because of your culture.
Yeah.
But then Lego are excluding it because of the religious aspect. So they're excluding your culture. So how does someone feel welcome in a Lego community where they are not represented in the characters within the sets?
They don't. That's kind of the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Lego are trying to make changes with some of the diversity sets that we've been seeing coming out, but they're not applying that to this other aspect, which is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also talked to me in the week about buildings being quite religious, or coming from religion.
Yeah, so, most architecture, again, mainly talking Western Europe, you get architectural features that have come through because of religion.
Yeah.
Because, originally your
actual
stone buildings would have either been, castles or churches and monasteries.
Yeah.
And so because of that, different bits come through. And so it's really almost impossible to look at a building and say, well, this part comes from the religion, this part doesn't, because it's so intermingled.
Yeah.
And I think you also got to account that there are some really great architectural buildings out there that are religious and that Lego have repeatedly ignored.
Because they're religious.
Yeah. So you've got Notre Dame, you've got the familiar Basilica.
Or Basilica Familiar. I don't know which way around
I can't remember which way around it is. Those are two amazing buildings in their own right, but because they're religious, Lego excludes them.
But then, by proxy, everything that has got anything religious about it as a building, which sounds like it's all buildings, shouldn't be made.
Yeah.
I'm not on board with this. Given that buildings are my most favourite part of Lego, I don't want them to get rid of those. But excluding something always seems wrong.
Yes.
I guess excluding the other famous thing that Lego excludes is war and violence and stuff. Up to a point. Modern guns and stuff.
Yeah, they
that one makes a little bit more sense to me. But excluding a religion, why? I guess Lego don't want to be seen as making statements. They want to stay away from any sort of politics and things. That's what we talked about when we did the Everyone is Awesome set. And they came out and said it wasn't politics. But by proxy of not doing things that could be political, are they not also being political?
Yes. They are essentially a very conservative company.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, it's in complete contradiction to what they talk about in terms of diversity and inclusion. This is why I say it's a very hypocritical situation that's going on.
Yeah. I mean, so they put loads of effort into the China market as like an emerging market for them. And so they're doing things that are based on that Chinese culture.
Yes.
So why are they so special? And why should we not do that for every culture? I guess if they don't see the market emerging there, then why would they waste their money?
Maybe.
They're looking for things that will get them a business benefit.
Yeah.
But then how do you know how many people would buy Lego if they saw themselves in it? Until you try. Or until you... maybe they've done the research and no one cares?
I don't know. I mean, they sell Lego in Muslim countries.
And how do those children feel not being able to sort of see...
I don't know.
Their representation? Or do they just get used to it? And that's wrong.
Yeah.
Because it essentially lengthens the amount of time that we think this is normal. Like, it's normal for those people not to see themselves. Because this is what keeps happening. And therefore, they just always have to accept it. Which seems wrong.
Yep, it does. And children's toys is definitely kind of the place where you want to make these changes. You want to get children growing up to understand that they live in a multicultural world where they have to respect that people are different, not ignore that people are different.
So the Friends line have brought in like quite a lot of disability type things, and they've enhanced their skin tones and things. But I don't recall seeing any sort of change in outfits and things to...
I've not spotted anything at all. The only kind of religious clothing we get are turbans.
Yeah.
Because they occasionally have a snake charmer in a CMF.
Yeah, and they have those on the Build a Minifigure wall. But they're purple. They're all this. Oh, you get purple and green ones. I think that's it.
I can't remember.
And not all people from other religions wear turbans.
No.
I feel like there's quite a lot of different clothing that is not covered.
Yeah.
Is it logistically, how would you put that on a minifigure? But no, because like if you look at the Ninjago line, they have head coverings as well.
Yeah.
So there's definitely the ability to do it.
Yeah.
And make it work. So what do you think they should do?
I think they need to maybe even come up with a whole theme about embracing religion. I would like to see them actually do sets that celebrate all the different religions, where they talk about kind of the festival or celebration, And in the instructions, they actually give you information on it. I think that would be a good way of getting children more involved with it. I know that, whenever Leah learns about different religious aspects in school, she always gets really excited about it.
Yeah, because it's interesting.
But her school only covers a small subset of religions.
Because there's only so much time in the day, I guess.
Yeah.
And she goes to a Christian school.
Yes.
So that's kind of what they would do more of, because that's the label they've been given.
But I think pretty much all schools in England will only focus on a couple of religions.
Yeah, I think they tend to pick like one or two, and that's it. So normally you'd get like Islam and Hinduism. And that's it.
So I think for my...
Or maybe Jewish, I guess.
Judaism. I did like the short course, half GCSE.
Yes.
And
same.
so that was, the curriculum is Christianity and another religion.
Yes.
If you did the full GCSE, it was Christianity and two other religions.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, so I think we did Judaism at school. I think. I don't remember.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. And this is the thing, that's all you really get. And how are you meant to be understanding of other people's cultures if that's literally the only education you've ever got? And all you ever see is the things in the media about the extreme religion.
Yep.
You never actually learn about people who are your friends or can be your friends.
Yeah.
It's pretty rubbish. And so Lego can plug that gap. But would people buy them?
Yes.
We would.
Yeah.
Especially if they're pretty.
That's it.
If you find the right thing to draw the eye in and then provide the message as well, then you'll get the bigger market share, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, the number of people who buy the Chinese New Year sets because they are beautiful and therefore are learning something about a culture that they wouldn't necessarily learn about.
Yep.
But I don't think there's much in the instructions on the Chinese New Year sets. I don't really remember seeing much in those. But I've looked at it more in order to sort of do reviews.
Yeah.
And obviously Leah's done Chinese New Year at school. So I kind of feel as adults, sometimes you learn a lot from your children learning about something. But it would be good if we are also paving the way for them and bringing those things in. Lego is a really good learning opportunity, and it needs to use that. So they've got these sets, they've made a model MRI machine that they give, possibly, or maybe sell. I've found conflicting advice or details on the internet, to hospitals to help play with kids that are going to go into an MRI machine and kind of normalise what's going to happen and talk it through. And if they can do that kind of thing, why can't they do this kind of thing?
Yeah.
They're not selling that. There's no real profit in that. That's a passion project as such. They just need someone to do that. But those projects shouldn't be coming from the employees feeling passionate about something. Surely they should be part of their strategy.
Yes. And you see that Lego have done this previously. They've done the Women of NASA and the other one.
Women in Computing?
Women in Computing?
No,
Women
that
in
was
Science?
Yeah, Women in Science. Women in Computing, I think, is one that didn't make it through the Bricklink
Did it?
round. I think so.
Yeah. So, where they've gone, right, we need to get kids to understand that women can go into STEM. They don't have to just be teachers.
Is that your... That's what women can be? Oh,
traditionally.
Just teachers.
Yeah, that's mainly what women did. And that's why you refer to female teachers in this country as Miss. Because they were unmarried women would be teachers. Because
if you couldn't get a husband, you went and worked in a school.
Yeah. So I think they've shown in the past that they can include education about diversity and inclusion. It's just that when it comes to religion, I don't know if they're too scared to do it. Obviously, there are high-profile cases where religious groups have got upset about portrayals of things. So there was it Jabba's Palace? It was criticised as having a very Middle Eastern feel and almost playing up to stereotypes of the kind of Islamic... I'm trying to think of a word. Kind of like an Islamic mob.
Mob?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a den of thieves kind of feel to it.
Right.
And so there were a lot of complaints about that. And then some people think the set got pulled because of that. Others that it just retired at the time it was going to retire anyway. But, there's definitely been problems around that. But I think, You know, Lego can work with religious leaders to try and come up with sets that
it's not like they
portray it.
I mean, looking at recent events, maybe they're not doing the consulting high up in the idea and things are getting cancelled last minute, but they could do the work and they could go and get the people who have expertise on what's the right way of portraying these kind of events.
Yeah.
Without causing any upset. But just because something's difficult doesn't mean they shouldn't be doing it.
No, just means they should be paying more attention when they do.
Yeah. Yes. So maybe that's what we want to see for 2022? 2023? It's
not going to happen.
No, of course it won't. Which is a shame.
So, in conclusion, Lego can do better. Lego should do better. Lego probably won't do better.
Yep. Let us know in the comments below what you think about Lego's take on religious sets and whether they are making the line too far, like whether they need to allow more in and be less scared, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to check out any of our previous podcast episodes, they're all available on YouTube in a playlist, which I'll link up now or will be in the show notes. And don't forget to come back next week for another episode. Bye!
Bye.